This little practice is for the upper chest and back to bring a little bit more freedom across the heart centre, across the ribs and the lungs. So I've got 2 bricks. You can have 4 foam pads because they're for the halasana, and a couple of blankets and a belt. I want you to start by sitting on 2 bricks or a couple of foam pads and come into Sukhasana. Take the hands back, roll the shoulders back, squeeze the elbows in and lift the chest. Close the eyes and breathe. Now bring your hands to Namaskarasana. So the hands come into, so the base of the thumbs come to the base of the sternum. Turn the biceps from inside out. And as you do that, you'll start to feel the base of the shoulder blades dig in. So connect the base of the shoulder blades in the back, and then imagine you're trying to draw them towards the base of the thumbs there. Turn the biceps from inside out. As you do that, you'll start to feel a firmness around the chest. And then lift the heart to the head. Bow your head to the heart. Release the hands down. Raise the face and open the eyes. So when you have your eyes open, you're looking to have the gaze forwards and then just slightly up. And if you think, why? Just experiment. Just take the gaze down lower. And if you sit there for a little while, you might start to notice you start to sink a little. So you want to keep a nice uplifted heart. Change across the legs. Sit tall. Adjust your buttocks so that you're sitting squarely on the buttock bones. So for today, we're going to take the hand, we're going to turn the palm in, take the other fingers, place them over the palm, and put the thumb to the back of the hand. So the palm, you're stretching the palm without pulling too much on the finger. So I've got my ring finger on the base where my fingers meet my hand. And then raise the arms up, stretch up. Lift up. Really squeeze that elbow in. You get a really nice stretch there. Exhale, lower the arms. And then change your hand. So turn the other hand in. Take the ring finger, middle finger, place on where the fingers meet the palms. Thumb to the back of the hand, and you just got tighter wrists. You'll find you're in charge then as to how much length you give the wrist area there. And then raise the arm up again. Push that lower arm, the hand that's facing the ceiling or the sky, up. Soften the back of the neck, relax the eyes and release the tongue. And then release. Okay, back to the first cross of the legs. Extend into the heels and feel that you're giving yourself a nice firm base, because you want to have an area that the spine feels comfortable to lift out of. And then you may need a foam pad behind you, you might not. So we're going to turn to the right, so stretch your left arm up, stretch it up strongly, pivot around, really get a good lift in the right side of that, my brain's gone, the left side of the chest, and then pop the hand down, widen the collarbones. Levelize the shoulders. Breathe up into the chest. Keep the base firm. And then come back to center. Roll the shoulder blades back. Emily, sorry, just while I think. If you're watching this one, merci beaucoup for your letter. She wrote me a lovely email, made my day. Raise your right arm up. Come towards, we're feeling the length through the side of the chest, but don't lose the length on this side. Take your left hand behind, turn, and then release the hand down. If you have the palm facing out, think, can I turn my bicep from inside to out? It's just a gentle twist. And then come back to center. Change across of the legs. So this time we're going to stretch up. So we're going to interlace the fingers, push the palms away, raise the arms up, extend up, elbows in, lift and lengthen. Now we're going to turn to the right. Turn, 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 turn. Keep the firmness in the base. Lift up through the chest. And then release the hands down evenly. And look over your right shoulder. Levelize the shoulders, collarbones, spine long. Bring the head back, bring the body back. Hands to the thighs. Opposite interlace. Push the palms away, stretch up. Go tall. Turn to the left. Release the hands down. Look over your left shoulder. Bring your head back. Bring the hands back. Bharavajasana 1. We're going to take our legs around to the left side. Sit tall. Bring the left hand on the outside edge of the right knee. Right hand behind. Fingertips on that foam pad. And then let the spine become as long as you possibly can. From the tailbone, right through to the crown of the head. Move the back chest in. Move the shoulder blades in. Open up that heart. It's coming forwards and up. And then come back to center. Second side, stretch the legs out. And then whip them around to your right side. So the ankle sits on the arch of the other foot. Pull the left buttock flesh out and back. Beyond the fingertips. Okay, right hand outside edge, left knee. Left hand behind, sit tall and turn. Shoulder blades deep into the back. Lengthen both sides of the neck and levelize the shoulders. Bring the head back. Bring the arms back, bring the legs back to center. Stretch the legs out, sitting Dandasana. First side again. Now, if you have a belt, you can take a belt and you can put it around the top of your left arm. So let's take the legs around the left. Slide back a little and slowly inching forward towards the camera. Look here, hoping you can see, I'm taking the belt and I'm just looping it. You can do a loop or you can just around the top of the arm here. Don't have it like a torn, okay? Then have the belt just coming around your back. So the legs around to the left, the belt is on the upper arm. You can take your left hand on the outside edge of the right knee. And then your right hand, swoop it round, and then see if you can find the belt, and you hold the belt. I don't know whether I should just come up so you can see the arm is coming around the back. Okay, come just a little bit closer. Arm is around the back, holding here, so you turn this way. But if you can hold with the hand, then you hold the hand when you turn. Sorry, hold the hand, hold the arm when you turn. So I shall, you know where the belt goes. I shall come back and just put my arm into bind. And proportions play, So depending on your proportions, depends how easy you find these binds and things. Your mobility as well. Now open up the chest, open up the collarbones, turn the body. Sitting evenly on the buttock bones, being firm in the base, and making sure that you're not overstressing any tissues. There's no compression. So you're always looking for length and space, open heart and relaxed mind. So relax the eyes and release the tongue so the senses are quiet. Looking over your right shoulder and then bring the head back to look over the left shoulder and then release. Second side. Stretch your legs forwards. Adjust your buttock bones and then bring the legs around to the right. You'll be turning to the left. So here both knees are on the floor and the thighs are coming forwards. And if you're feeling like your knees are a little bit tighter, it's usually a little bit more splayed. It's usually because the hips are a bit tighter. So you're just aiming to have a nice broad sacrum. Sit tall if you want to put the belt on. You can put the belt around the upper arm on that right side, so and then it comes around your back. If you're not going to use the belt, that's fine. But you take this arm, now extend the arm forwards, bring the arm around, and those of you that like to swim breaststroke, that lovely feeling when you're swimming breaststroke like this. But do that through the arm. So we're getting as much mobility through the arm as possible, lengthening from the collarbone across, through the upper arm, through the elbow, around to bind. Okay? Now then bring the arm across the body, let the body rotate as you turn the arm around. So it's steering you around. And then as your back of the hand makes the contact with the thigh, open and straighten the arm, turn the bicep from inside out, and then take your head to gaze over your right shoulder. Sit back evenly on the buttock bones, but do that from the whole of the body. Don't just lean back with the upper body. Keep the upper body lifted and long, both sides of the waist long. And then exhale, bring the head back to center. And then release. Release the arm and release the legs. Okay, stretch the legs forwards. Now if you found that comfortable and the legs were happy going that way and the other, then you can do that again twice, 2 more times, either side. If, however, your leg can come into Janu Shasana or Lotus, so now you're going to bend back the left leg and bring the left leg into Virasana. Okay, the actual pose here is that the right leg is going to come up into Padmasana. Now, did you see? The leg came down, the knee stayed quite low, my body has stayed forwards, turned my foot, my knee is comfortable the whole time. I'm still staying forwards, greeting that foot like it's a guest, and the foot wants to lie down on the bed of the thigh. Okay, it's very tired, it's had a long journey. Make sure this knee is comfortable. Now, from here, or if that doesn't happen, the foot comes down to here. Okay, now there's no way you'll be able to grab your toes here. You'd have to have arms like Mr. Tickle, the Mr. Man character. So instead, if that's the case, you can take the belt and you can place the belt underneath the ankle and it will come up and over the thigh like this. Obviously, if you have the belt too short, you'll find it hard to grab, so the longer the tail that comes around, the easier it is to bind. So you'd hold this, and we're going to turn to here. If you're in the lotus pose, then it comes up, you're turning, you're staying forwards, adjust your buttocks so that the knees are down. Now if this knee is up in the air, yeah, you have to decide to put something underneath it. It's much safer for the knee because then it's not flapping around in space. Okay, so you take a blanket and you place it underneath there. Sit tall. Now if you can't reach the foot because your rotation doesn't allow, that's fine too. Put the foot around the ankle, over the arch, then again it follows the line of the Padmasana shin, all the way up and around the back. You take the right hand around, and you hold the belt, and the left hand comes on the outside edge of that thigh. If, however, you can reach the foot, the hand comes around to hold onto the foot. I stick my thumb between the toe and what I'll call the index toe, and then I press my arm down. So I press that right arm down a little to engage the shoulder blade, that right shoulder blade, and then I work the left arm very strongly to pull my chest up. Pull that chest up. And then look over your left shoulder. Get a good turn so the body follows, but be mindful of your lower back. And then exhale, bring the head to face forwards and make yourself feel as wide across the collarbones as you possibly can. Couple of breaths, couple of moments. And then exhale, release. Let's take that leg forwards. Release the other leg. Make sure your legs feel like they belong to you again. And second side. So now it's the right leg coming up into Virasana. Virasana is the kneeling hero pose. And then Padmasana. Padma means lotus. If you're not doing the Padmasana leg, then the Janushirshasana leg. So either the foot is up here, or else it's just underneath on the floor, placing the belt where necessary. Okay? Sit tall. Summer. Roll the shoulder blades back and open up the chest. So we're feeling the length here. We're feeling the breadth across the chest as well. And feel the support of the shoulder blades. Now take your left hand, stretch it forwards, wrap it around the body and go towards the belt or to hold the foot. So make sure you've got the belt on. If you haven't and you need it, put it on. I'm going to put my hand here just to lift the chest, and I'm going to bring the right hand on the outside edge, that left knee, widen across the collarbones, extend down through that left hand towards that Padmasana foot, to take the shoulder blades deep in the back and to lift that chest. So as the arm goes down, you're not pushing down from the shoulders. As the arm goes down, you're taking the shoulder blade into the back, and the chest starts to feel more open. If you look up a little bit, that will sort of encourage the chest to lift up, don't jam the neck, and then just release the head back down a little, and then turn the head and look over your left shoulder. Arms strong, breath smooth. Bring the head back to face forwards, turning through the body. And then exhale, release the arms, release the leg, and the second leg. Come back to center. Pull the butterfly shape. Now if you're doing the Bharavajasana and the legs are going this way, and the first Bharavajasana one with the legs this way, and you feel like you've had enough, you can always come to Sukhasana legs and do the twist like this, and then like this. It's just a very gentle twist either side, and then cross legs, do the same again, and then just wait for us to catch up. Otherwise we're doing Bharavajasana 2 one more time. So left leg in lotus, right leg in Padmasana or to Janushirshasana, foot on the floor, supporting this knee where necessary, and then grow the spine tall. Right hand comes around to hold the foot, left hand on the outside edge of that knee. Exhale, inhale, lift the chest, stretch the arms down, and exhale, turn. Turn the head, turn the trunk, widen those collarbones, and then bring the head to face forwards. And then release. Second side. Legs forwards. Right leg back. Left leg into lotus or into Janusha. Or you're doing your Sukhasana, or you're sitting still waiting. Left hand around, swoop it round, hold the foot. Take the hand along the thigh, open up the chest, grow tall, look over your left shoulder. And then bring the head back to center. And back of the neck long. Breath smooth and even. And then release the arms and release the legs. Okay, so the next pose we're going to do is just do a little bit of shoulder rotation before we move up to standing up. So if you're happy to kneel, come to kneeling. If you're not, then it could be a good idea to stand up because we're coming to meet you anyway. Does that make me very lazy wanting to sit down still? Rest your hands on your thighs and just pull. You're going to pull the shoulders up, and now I want you to take the shoulders back and just feel how far back you can take those shoulders. Keep the head still, keep the sides of the neck long. Now bring your awareness to the very top of the inner blade of the shoulder and take the very top of the inner blade of the shoulder in and then slide the shoulder blades down. And then bring your awareness to the middle shoulder blade and draw that area in also. And then slide the shoulder blades down with an exhalation. And then bring the hands up. Take the hands out to the side and feel how that connects the base of the shoulder blades in. Okay, can you slide them down? Notice how the chest has to lift to get those tips of the shoulder blades in. And then release the arms down. And then just sit tall and wide in the collarbones. Take the breath in and you should feel that the chest feels broader. We'll do that again. Rest the hands on the thighs. Shoulders up by your ears. Slide them back. Take a breath. Exhale, slide the shoulders down, bringing the awareness to the middle of the shoulder blades. Squeeze that area in, back of the neck long. Gaze level. You can have the eyes open or eyes closed. And then with an inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, take the hands a little out to the side. Take the tip of the shoulder blades in to lift the heart. Release the arms down. Let the shoulders release. Take a few breaths there. Let's come up to standing. Keep good space for the legs. So have your feet hip distance apart and press the outer blades down. We're going to do Gomukhasana. So I'm going to turn around. You're going to bring your right arm up the back. Left arm, stretch it up and bind. Open up the chest. And then release. Second side, left arm up the back. Right arm up. Bend the elbow and bind. Now if you can't bind, you can use a belt. So you just droop the belt over your shoulder, take the belt, and you can hold, or just completely take the pressure off yourself and just hold to here. Stretch the fingers towards each other. Yes, if you're here, you're just walking the fingers down the back, and then you can't force the shoulders into doing anything they're not ready to do. Stretch the arms down. Okay, first side again. Right arm up the back, left arm up in the air, and bind. Open up the chest. then release. Second side, left arm up the back, raise the arm, bend the elbow and bind. Breath smooth and even, arches lifted. And then release. Okay, so now from here we're going to do Gadadasana. So bring the feet together, bring the legs together, bend the knees. Take your right leg, wrap it over your left leg. Bring your right arm underneath the left arm. Drop the shoulders. Relax the eyes, release the tongue, and then release. Stand tall. If that's a problem for you, you can always just do Utkatasana legs with the arms instead. Okay, so bend the knees. Take the left leg over the right. Bring the left arm underneath the right. Drop the shoulders. Arms long. Collarbones broad. And then release. Stand tall. First side again. So this time see if you can simultaneously do the action. With an exhalation, right arm under, right leg over. On your marks, get set, go. If you want to work on the leg action but you find that your balance, the leg will go but the balance isn't willing yet, you can always put your bottom in against the wall and then stand tall, open up the chest, take a good breath into the chest, and then second side, left, so look, left arm, left leg over, left arm under, simultaneously do the action. Garudasana, the eagle pose. Breath smooth and even. And then release and stand tall. Open up the chest. Paschimottanasana Namaskaras. Bring the hands into prayer position behind the back. And open up the collarbones wide. Open up the collarbones wide. Breath smooth and even. And then release. Take a good breath in. And then again, hands into Paschimottanasana Namaskaras. If you can't do that, you can interlace the fingers behind the back and slide the arms down the back. And then change the interlace and slide the arms down the back. And once you've got that, keep the navel back and take the arms back. So we're opening up the chest again. And then release. Step the legs apart. We're going to do warrior one. Legs firm. Stretch out the arms, feel how that gives you a really amazing space across the chest. Now if you take the hands back, really as far back as they will go, you'll feel the chest open more. Okay, feel that stretch, and then allow the hands to come forwards. Turn the palms forwards and just bring them forwards, and you'll feel the back will then lengthen and broaden and widen. And then take the hands back out again. Release the arms down and lift the chest. Relax the eyes and release the tongue. Breathe. Hands onto your hips. Turn the left toes in. Take the heel out. And turn the whole of the right leg out to 90 degrees. And somebody's just turned up. So I'm going to remember this. Pause and be back. I'm back. Let's see if I can remember where I was. I think I was kind of about turning that back foot well in and turning the whole of the front leg out for warrior one. Now swing the arms forwards and up and lift the chest, and feel that you're lifting the back ribs as well as the front ribs. Don't let the front ribs flare forwards, just keep that good lift. Look up, and then exhale, bend your leg. So you're bending your right leg down into a right angle towards a right angle. So be solid, even if the legs aren't wide enough, just make sure that knee doesn't go over the ankle. Stretch up, lift up, press from the heel of the back foot right through the legs, and then like you're pushing up into your fingertips. And come up, come back to center. If you can keep the arms up, keep the arms up. It's very good for the ribs. Turn the back foot well in, take that heel out. Turn the whole of your left leg to 90 degrees. Resist with that back leg as you bend the front leg. So we're not going so far at the moment. Lift the chest and look up. Lengthen the back ribs as well as the front ribs. So we're trying to get the whole of the chest to lift. And then straighten up through the leg. Bring the head to face forwards. Come up. Lower the arms. Stretch out. And then legs together. Full pose. Now the legs go wide. And I believe in Light on Yoga, he gets you to lift the arms up first. You don't have to. Okay, but it is an interesting way to get into the pose. So you can take the legs wide and stretch the arms out. If you want to try Light on Yoga version, arms come up over the head and the palms come together. And then he says to take the legs wide. Gives a whole different action through the legs. Now turn your back foot well in. That left foot turns well in. Spin the hips. Now you're going to, from here, turn the whole of the right leg to 90 degrees. And be in that back leg. Lift up the ribs. Connect into the kneecap on your left leg and press into the outer heel. If you need to lift the heel, lift the heel. Otherwise, just bend that front leg down. And then you can throw the head back. Or just take the head back. Make sure you don't jam in the back of the neck. Stretch from the heel right through into the fingertips. Be in that standing leg. Be in those standing legs even. Inhale, come up. Come back to center. Stretch up. Turn your right foot well in. Turn the whole of the left leg to 90 degrees. Turn the hips and turn the trunk. Back leg firm. Stretch up through the arms. Lift up through the chest. Take the head, look up. Sit deeper in the pose. Stretch up to the fingers. If you need to come off that heel, if you need to release your arms, do those things. Look forwards. Inhale, come up. Bring the feet to face forwards. Lower the arms and legs together. Take some breaths. All of a sudden you should feel like I call them chest mints. It's like you've just cleaned out the whole of your chest. Tadasana. Kneecaps tight, breath smooth and even, allowing those arms to hang down and lengthen right through to your fingernails. Take an Uttanasana. You can take an Uttanasana, a half Uttanasana. So I've got this ledge here, yeah, and then I can put my fingertips here and I can walk back. Kneecaps are lifted. And I'm trying to lengthen the tailbone away from the crown of the head and the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Alternatively, if you want to take Uttanasana forward bend, so you fold from here, folding from the hips, folding from the femur heads, rolling over the pelvis, clasp the elbows, relax the head. Relax the eyes and then just pull the elbows very gently away from the waist to create a greater sense of length on the front side of the body, along the front side of the spine. Kneecaps lifted, breath smooth. Change your clasp of the elbows. Lengthen down again one more time. Hands to waist. Slide the thumbs back towards the sacrum. Lift and lengthen, pressing into the mound of the big toes. Inhale, come up. the arms. Bring your legs together. Okay, you're going to lie on your tummies. Just going to put this down because this is absolutely roasting my mouth. Oh, it's burning my feet. Okay. We've got Shalabhasana next, so we're just going to first of all lengthen the leg away and lengthen the other leg away. And in fact, before we do the Shalabhasana, rest your head on the floor and place your hands as if you're going to do Chaturanga Dandasana. Have the middle fingers facing forwards, okay? Have the head resting a little. And now you're going to take your shoulders away from the floor as much as possible. Take the shoulders away from the floor as much as possible. And then with that, think about just taking those elbows in just a little bit and then sliding the shoulder blades down. And as you do that, do it just once or twice. As you do that, keep the back of the neck long. Keep the legs working strongly. And notice as you slide the shoulders away, how the tissues of the neck feel like they want to lengthen forwards more. It feels counterintuitive that when you move something away, the rest of the body doesn't want to go with it. The rest of the body goes, oh wow, you've just taken the pressure off my neck. Relax the eyes and release the tongue. And then release. Okay, come onto the elbows. Lift yourself up. Lengthen through the front of the body. Make sure that the abdominal flesh feels like it's coming wide. The tailbone is connected down. And now just make the legs firm. So now you're getting an idea that from the hip bones and then through to the femur head, so this place here where the femurs connect, the thigh bones connect into the hips, you have inside, you have the femur heads, and on the outside, that knobbly bit that you may be able to feel is called the greater trochanter. And I like to be aware of where my greater trochanter is, those knobbly bits, and I like to think about them going towards each other. So now the outer thighs become firmer. Now think about that Chaturanga Dandasana action. So your palms are facing up. You're going to lift your shoulders away from the floor. Slide the hands along the floor a little. And you'll feel how the arms are just on the Chaturanga position. Now with an exhale, lift your hands to shoulder height without moving that rotation of the shoulders. And lift the legs. Shalabhasana. Grow long from the tip of the toes to the crown of the head. And then exhale, come down. And then again, shoulders back, away from the floor, away from your ears, sliding the hands down, lift the hands in line, charge the legs, straighten the legs, come up. Back of the neck long, eyes quiet. And release. To open up this portion of the chest, we've got Makrasana. Hands come onto the back of the head, thumbs down, fingers interlaced. Legs firm. With an exhale, lift the chest. So take a breath in. Tailbone connected, legs long, exhale, come up, and then breathe. Lengthen to the elbows. And then exhale, release. Change, interlace the fingers. Okay, if you need to adjust your pelvis or your tailbone or your legs, stretch those legs away. Make sure that you're not pinching anywhere, you're not compressing anywhere. Take a breath in, connecting to the tailbone, connect the thighs away from the floor, so you've engaged the thighs, knees are away from the floor, toes are long. Exhale, come up. Stretch through the legs, inner legs to the edges of the big toes, lengthen through to the crown of the head, lift the chest, and exhale, come down. Release the hands. You can rest the hands underneath the forehead. Change the cross of the hands, so the other hand is now on the top. And then inhale, come up. Okay, we've got Chatuspadasana next. We're going to do it on the platform. Now for speed, I feel like it's Blue Peter now. For speed, I have these mega blocks. Okay, they're actually the equivalent of 2 blocks, but they're actually slightly wider. Okay, but the 4 blocks is absolutely fine. But I particularly like these. Okay, and then you put your blankets over the top. And it's up to you, it depends on your flexibility. You can have 2 bricks for your feet. If you feel like the platform makes it too hard to do the pose. So you can put 2 bricks for your feet here. But know that when we do our shoulder stand, you'll need to put 1 brick in the middle. Okay? And you've got your belt nearby as well, because you'll be needing that later too. So you need maybe even 3 bricks there. Then you just move the other bricks away. So lie down very carefully. Undo your hair. Only if you've got hair to undo. And know that you're coming onto the very tops of those shoulders. And you've got your belt, so that if you want to begin with, you can just have the belt looped around the ankles, and you can hold them there. Now the feet, if they're coming up onto the bricks, you slide the feet onto the bricks and just make sure you've got a good placement for your feet. And then you hold the belt, turn the biceps from inside out, tucking the shoulder blades deep into the back, and you'll feel here that right now it should feel lovely on the neck. Do not turn your head. So if you're not sure what you're doing right now stop and just watch when I do the first one. You can always pause and come back to it and try again. So you're here, biceps turn from inside out, press down into the feet, unfurl through the tailbone towards the knees, make sure there's no compression in the lower back, and then you're moving the chest towards the face by digging the shoulder blades in and pressing the arms down. Get a nice opening through the body, relax the eyes and release the tongue. And then take the tailbone towards the knees, lengthen the spine, and down you come. Take some breaths. Okay? So now, let's say that you didn't need the belt and you don't think you need the bricks. You can always come up onto the toes, or say you've only got 1 brick. So if I take that brick and place it underneath where my bottom goes now, I haven't got any bricks for my feet. So then instead, you can use a belt around the ankles, or you can just lift the heels up. Roll the shoulder blades deep into the back, grab the heels and lift. Keep the knees moving towards each other. Back of the neck long, tailbone in and up. And exhale, come down. You can walk the feet in a little more if you wish. Holding onto the ankles. Take the thumbs past the ankles if you can. And then with an exhale, lift. So take a breath in. And exhale, lift. Tailbone in, up. Chest open. And exhale, come down. And for the last one, if you wish, you can try and take the heels down. So you're here, come up, come up, come up. Get the unfurling through the thighs, no traffic jamming in the lower back, no compression. Take the heels down, see if you can increase the work on those thighs. Knees in, don't turn the head. Rolling those shoulders, rolling the biceps inside out. And exhale, come down. Okay, take your belts. Now if you'd like to look this way, I will show you what we're going to do and then I will talk you through it. So I've got a belt on up for my elbows. We're up, the balls, the feet now, come up. You're going to lift up your hips and place the belt on. You're then going to come up into your Chatushpadasana. But again, you're not trying to hold the heels now. Your hands will come onto the back of the body. Yeah, you can go up and over into your Halasana if you need to. Otherwise, take one leg up and come up into your shoulder stand. Stretch up. If you've gone into your Halasana, then come up into your shoulder stand. Breathe. So if you lifted your right leg up into your shoulder stand, you will pop your left leg back down again. And bring the leg down. Just stay in your shoulder stand if you didn't do that. Okay? Now you're going to take your left leg up. So walk the feet in, lift up through the hips, left leg up, stretch up, and come up into your shoulder stand. Very hard to talk and do. Bend the leg, arch through the back, leg strong, and come down. Release the hands and take a rest. As you lie here, don't turn the head. Just breathe into the chest. Feel the openness of the chest. Feel the openness and the width of the breath. I'm going to do that one more time. Okay? So if you're in your shoulder stand and you're about to go into your shoulder stand, you can just hold a straight shoulder stand. Yeah, there's no force, there's no reason to do this next pose, but if you decide that's what you want to do, come to your Chatushpadasana. Yeah? Lift your hips and place the hands onto the backs of the shoulder blades, getting a nice lift through the spine. You can always put your feet on a height, yeah? Because it's much harder with the feet down on the floor here. I'm going to start with the left leg going up in the air first. So raise the left leg up, kick up, come up. Don't labour the pose. Don't labour the pose. Now stretch up into the legs. Stretch up, stretch up, stretch up. Shoulders down. Back of the neck soft and long. Throat soft. Stretch the left leg up, curl through, bend that right leg back, open up the chest, and then pop the foot down onto the floor or onto a stable base. It must be stable. Feet down, open up the chest. Right leg's coming up, bend the knee over the chest, stretch up, come up, extend up, stretch up through that right leg, bend the left leg, curl through the spine, all the way down, legs strong, and then release the feet down, release the arms, take the belt off, take the brick that you would have underneath your bottom, and wriggle forwards, and place that brick behind the back of the head. Let the arms come out to the side. You can have cross legs like so, as long as the lower back doesn't mind. If the lower back minds, then just have the knees coming in and the feet turned in like so. So the knees are touching, the feet are wide. Change across to the legs. Notice the breath, notice how it's just becoming known. It feels fresh and new. I want to say, like when you see a friend that you haven't seen for a while and they're sporting a new haircut, it's just like, oh wow, you look different. Not necessarily a new hairstyle, but maybe. And obviously the friend wants the haircut, the hairstyle, obviously maybe to make them look fresher. And so the breath should feel fresher than it did at the beginning of the session. Relax the hands to the belly. Place your hands under the thighs if you've got crossed legs, and encourage those legs to move in of their own accord. Bring the legs together. Carefully roll onto your side and sit yourself up. So we've got the blankets here. You can use the foam pads if you wish, but I personally like to have a blanket, one roll between my spine and the other one for my head. So I'm going to take this one, I'm going to roll it up quite tight, and that is going to go between my shoulder blades. And then this one is going to come for my head. I'll just move these ones out of the way. We're just going to do a little bit of Ujjayi 1. So my head is coming onto here. The back of my head is going to be there. It's not going to be there. I don't want my chin or my forehead falling back. So the back of my head is going to be here. And I've actively decided to put the double roll here because that gives a little bit of extra support for the cervical spine. Okay? As you go down, you want to take the chest, back chest onto the raise, onto that roll, and then roll those shoulders back. And if, like me, you've just realised that actually the support isn't quite long enough, take a foam pad and place it towards the back, and then put the blanket like so. Okay, now I've got some support there. Okay, so I'll start again. This is all live. Round the back, so we're making each vertebrae come onto the support. And then as we do that, we think, can we lengthen? Can we lengthen? Can we lengthen? Because we want our ribs to have as much space as possible. Now take the shoulder blades down the back and just make sure you haven't compressed. In the action of taking the shoulder blades down the back, make sure that the sides of the waist are wide, the sides of the thoracic spine feel wide, and that the arms feel broad and wide. Have the hands level, and then just check that the midline is completely correct, and then just comfortably slide the legs away. If this is not so comfy, you can always put a bolster underneath the knees. And then you let the feet flop out. Now if that feels again like you need more spreading, then just quietly take the legs away from each other just a little bit more. So we've got nice open abdomen and groins, and it should feel like the forehead it's almost like we've got some levels of water. The forehead is a level lake, but this upper chest feels like a level lake, but then it just drops away, the abdomen drops away, and then the thighs feel like a lake also. And you're just going to observe the inhalation and the exhalation. And to begin with, you're just refining and lengthening both. Just for 5 breaths. Keeping the eyes quiet, the tongue soft, face soft. you've done your equal length inhalation and exhalation, just return to normal breathing. You should find longer and smoother. Take a breath in and lengthen your exhale. So just make that exhalation a little finer, a little longer, a little deeper. Then take a regular inhale. And then take a long, slow, smooth exhale. Regular inhale. And if this is too much for you, just breathe over your chest. You need not worry about anything. If something doesn't feel quite right, doesn't feel comfortable, adjust yourself. And then take a long, slow, smooth exhale. If you're still waiting for that instruction. Relax the eyes, relax the cheeks, release the tongue. You need to return to normal breathing, do so. Otherwise, take an inhale. And then take a longer, slower, smoother, finer exhale. And letting the limbs go, releasing the legs, relaxing the arms. Inhale. And a long, slow, exhale. One more. Inhale. Release the skin between the eyebrows. Relax the eyes. Release the tongue. And a long, slow, smooth, deep exhale. Allow yourself to return to normal breathing. Now you know how you feel, and if you feel like you don't want to move, then just stay there. If you feel like you're ready to lie flat because maybe the upper back has had enough work this day, then just carefully bend up the hips. Roll to your side, quietly sit yourself up and just remove the props, maybe keeping a blanket for your head. If you've got tighter upper back anyway, it's probably a good idea to keep a blanket for the head. And just bend up the legs again as you roll yourself down, vertebrae by vertebrae, making the most of the length of your body. Turn the palms up. Tuck the shoulder blades deep into the back and gently stretch those legs away. And now, according to the yogic tradition, sacred syllable Om is the sound, the Big Bang, the beginning of the universe. The creator, the maintainer, the destroyer. But everything will be okay. The universe knows. Allow the breath to become balanced. Relax the mind. Release the lips and release the tongue. And if you're struggling at the moment, you're finding maybe the breath difficult, just let go and don't worry about that. It's a good way to learn to let go of worries. It's a very good way to learn to let go of worries. If something feels tight, and you can just bring yourself away from it, that's physically, on a very easy level, how to start to incorporate that into your daily life. So if you're struggling with the breathing, just let the breathing go, let it go, let the mind not worry. So we're basically just having a conversation with the mind. Can you do anything about it right now? If you can, like with the breath, just let it go. Let the body breathe itself. Just say, mind, please stop worrying for me today, right now. If it can do something about it, say your lower back is aching, the mind can send a message to the legs to bend the legs up. And it can send a message to the knees to flop in, and it can send a message to the feet to step out. So the mind in the yoga practice is becoming the controller of the movements, and it's taking responsibility for making the body as comfortable as possible. On Zoom, on the videos, you won't get the adjustments that maybe you used to get from the teacher, tucking the shoulder blades deep into the back. Maybe checking your alignment. Maybe releasing the neck by lifting the head up and just lengthening the neck away. So now you have to ask your own mind, how do you send the message to allow my body to do that? So that my body isn't in a constant state of fight or flight. Take a beautiful breath in. Take a lovely breath out. And pause at the end of the exhalation and rest your hands on your chest. And then return to normal breathing. Bring the hands to support the head. If you can roll to the right side, roll onto the right side. Let the body turn. Let the eyes be soft. And then when you're ready, place the fingertips to the floor. Look down at the floor and come to a comfortable seated position. Either on a brick, or on a blanket, or just flat, whatever is most comfortable for you. And here, sit tall, and balance the shoulder blades, balance the collarbones, balance the brain, balance your mind, so you feel well balanced. Allow the breath to come up into the chest. Release through the back of the neck. Hands to Namaskar. Observe the shoulder blades, observe the breath, observe the connection of the left palm to the right palm to the left. Lift the heart center to the head. Allow the thinking mind to rest. And let the wisdom of the heart support the intelligence of the mind. Release the hands. Raise the face. Breathe in, breathe out. Open your eyes. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Thank you so much. If you happen to have got this far and you haven't subscribed, I know, but if you could, that would be epic. Have a super day.